In the late 19th century, the English certainly made their mark in Manaus, an Amazonian city in the heart of the Brazilian rainforest and home to some 2 million people. They helped develop the rubber trade, which gave Manaus its golden era that lasted until the late 1920s. Some lavish buildings remain, like the famous Amazon Theatre made out of materials imported from Europe. But people in Manaus remember the Brits for something else.
Unfortunately, the thing that the Brits are remembered for is a chap called Wickham Fines, who legally, with permits, boated out of here with thousands of rubber seeds, put them into queue, and they then went to Malaysia. And it ended the Brazilian monopoly on rubber.
More than a century later, the English are back. More than 5,000 fans are expected in Manaus to watch their team play their first match of the World Cup against Italy. And this visit hasn't been without controversy either. Prior to the final draw, England coach Roy Hodgson declared that the place was to be avoided during the World Cup due to its high temperatures and 80% humidity. The mayor of Manaus replied that he'd prefer for the English not to come at all. But the incident now seems to be forgotten.
It's pretty obvious. Any country wouldn't want to play in these conditions. Hodgson never said that he didn't want to play here. He said that it would be difficult for the players to be here. But it's blown out of proportion. And the people in Manaus have accepted us very well, and we've been treated very well, and it's been a good place to be.
High temperatures, but also deadly dangers. When England were drawn to play in Manaus, words like malaria mosquitoes, deadly spiders and giant snakes were splashed across headlines in the British press. Though players and fans are unlikely to come across any of these creatures in Manaus' concrete and traffic-jammed streets, pristine forests start just 1 hour outside the city, where such encounters become a lot more likely.
Well, I was in the jungle yesterday and it was very hot and there were lots of creepy crawlies, and I suppose if you're not careful, you might get bitten or eaten by something not very nice.
England's famous for its die-hard fans, always showing up in big numbers and supporting their team with flags, songs, and quite a few beers.
I'm not entirely convinced that the bars that are here are prepared for what's about to hit them, especially if England lose on Saturday.
Until then, dancing in Manaus warm nights make everyone forget about football, at least for a night.